Welcome back. We're going into drop frames. We got a new control deck, by the way, for drop frames. So I can now, at will, just press this button right here, and that'll change to this thing over here. That we can keep seeing Goth, you know? See how that's working? It's pretty cool, huh?
Nice.
It's a little overkill, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like
Here's mine.
Oh, God, okay.
you look like a baby at a keyboard.
I'm ready to run the thing. All right, let's do it.
A giant bearded baby at a keyboard.
That's pretty much me. No, this is the TriCaster came in today, so this is the control service for it. It's pretty neat. We'll do a. You guys want to do a live drop frame sometimes this year? Are you into it? You want to come to the house?
Absolutely, of course.
Okay, cool. We'll do some.
Speaking of that, are we doing one for TwitchCon or not? Do we not gonna do that?
I think we are. I think it's now. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, that thing weighs.
I love how everybody else in the entire world is like clamoring to get a spot, and then JP like last minute's like, hey, maybe we'll do drop frames, and it gets in, and of course it gets like the prime spot, the biggest theater, of course.
No. Wait, I think I submitted stuff like 6 months ago or 4 months ago or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. No, is the schedule coming out? Have they announced when the TwitchCon stuff is coming out yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're doing drop frames. I don't know if that's announced yet, but
Yeah.
we should be there.
Do we have a guest?
Yeah, we have a couple guests.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that are playing.
Is one of them Fred Durst?
Yeah, one of them is Fred Durst. He's going to join us. We're going to talk to him about the real musician of Limp Bizkit, which was the guitarist. Was his name Wes? Was that?
Wes Borland.
Yeah.
The one who looks like he should be in Static X.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that guy was great. Well, shit, that was a lot of Destiny too. There's a lot of games out right now that are all good. It's been a lot of fun.
No, I was telling Code during the break that Gathalion is one of those cats that can convince me like maybe I'll go back to a game that I haven't like picked up in a fucking long time.
Oh,
because it looked and sounded so much fun, especially like the raid mechanics, like the complexities of the raid mechanics sounded so much fun rather than just stand there, dodge, shoot, throw grenades, super, whatever. It's like you actually have to do lots of different like steps in order to complete it. I love it because I love puzzle games and it sounds like a puzzle game to me.
Yeah, you should do it. You should stream it too.
Oh,
be good.
there it is.
Yeah, I guess we're on it Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. So
That's a good time.
yeah, it's not bad. That's
Oh shit! I got billed before JP. Woohoo!
well, they're obviously alphabetical order, Zeke. So
Pretty sure it's order of importance.
might be, it might be, or alphabetical.
Yeah.
No, what time is 11:30? So that's 3:30 Eastern, and we usually start at 1 Eastern. So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Saturday, but yeah, I didn't realize that stuff was out there yet. 2:30 Eastern. Oh well, never math on stream. Yeah, so that's
I
a
love
thing.
that they're still using that helmet with the fur on it as my headshot, like that I took like 4 years ago, 5 years ago now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at me, look what I'm using. I haven't looked like this in years. So
Wait. Are those other panels that you're on?
yeah.
You click my name?
Nice. Nailing it. What else is Zeke on?
Wanted to make sure.
I guess, getting second place in the PJSalt means I'm not an all-star.
Motherfuck you!
No, I'm talking about me. I know you
I
won.
thought you were talking about me. I was like, come on, dude. I still got the golden salt, son.
I remember that. You don't remember me at the first... I played DDR on stage against Future Man Gaming in the first ever TwitchCon, PJ Sultan. And then you beat Future Man or something
I totally remember. Yeah. No, I totally remember. But I think they're inviting back the people who were actually like salty. Like that was my one complaint as the PJ Sultan tournament went on, is that they progressively got less salty. Like the first year, there was the saltiest motherfuckers. Like everybody was talking shit. Like Tally and Goldie and Waffle and Donut, me. Like there was a lot of shit talking the first year, and it got progressively more and more like weak.
I got you. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, Miss Vixen, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. That I remember. She was part of the final 3 with me. I got pushed by Miss Vixen at one point. I think didn't the two of you fight on stage or something like that?
She kicked me with steel toe boots on.
Okay, there you go.
She ran me down in the theater and kicked me while I was on the ground with steel toe boots. And if that's not salty.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's pretty salty.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys see YouTube Gaming died? They killed it.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. It's
Their
being,
streaming service?
well, no, like YouTube Gaming is going to redirect to just like normal YouTube now. The news came out.
But YouTube Gaming was that the streaming portion or?
Well, all of the
And there's
same.
Cinnamon Toast Ken in the chat. Praise Jesus.
Let me pull up the full thing for this. I gotta find. I think I read it on Fwizz's account.
Okay, listen.
Here we go. Okay.
Twitch Twitter used to be. They've had gone through a lot of changes of people who actually post to the actual @ Twitch on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And it used to be very playfully fun and poking fun and jabbing and that kind of stuff. They don't do that anymore. But remember when YouTube Gaming came out and they had this the awesomest tweet? It was like "Welcome Player 2," or whatever it was.
Yep.
I wish they would put a tweet out there and like have some like Player 2 insert quarter or something like that. Like for YouTube
that'd be
Gaming.
good.
That'd be
I'd
fucking
into that.
dope.
I'd be into that. So this is how Fwizz, who is the global head of gaming and virtual reality / augmented reality at YouTube, tweeted. He starts and says, "Gaming's having its biggest year ever on YouTube. 50 billion hours of gaming content watched on YouTube in the last 12 months, and 200 million daily logged in users watch gaming every single day on YouTube. That's why we're excited to announce we're moving YouTube Gaming into YouTube." We also wanted to cast.
Wait. Time out. So basically, like a year ago, you're like, wow, we've met record YouTube numbers for gaming. So we're making gaming YouTube. And then a year later, they're like, wow, we've hit record numbers for gaming. So we're removing gaming YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how they decided to put the messaging out there. I thought that was funny, too. So it said, we also want to cast a bigger spotlight on gaming creators that are still up and coming. We're happy to introduce Gaming Creator on the Rise. Creator will be featured on the main trending tab on YouTube every Sunday and on the trending tab for gaming for the entire week. That's kind of a big deal. That's a lot of extra views on people that still use YouTube. I say that the most condescending way possible. What else is there? So a couple things that have been missed from some yesterday. He says, YouTube Gaming as a brand will stay. The YouTube Gaming product just now will persist in a main, new logo. I don't understand what that means. We will keep a dedicated biz marketing engineer production team specifically focused on gamers and gaming features. We'll be making even more gaming specific features that will continue to roll out and announce in 2019 featuring our features our gaming creators have been asking for, and we will still be showing up at big gaming events still under the YouTube Gaming brand. What? I'm even more confused now. What is this?
I don't think they know what they're doing. From the sounds of it, the memo got somehow messed up like midway through going across the company, and now each of the extremities are just doing what they want with it. Like that's really confusing. Also, to say you're taking something down and then saying the brand will persist, that's the opposite of taking it down. Like what?
All right, I'm trying to find some other sources that
they're removing the app. Yeah, it looks like they're just consolidating everything.
Yeah.
But then that leads to the question, why did they ever break it?
Yeah. YouTube launched a separate app in 2015 dedicated to games and helping gamers find more videos. So that was YouTube Gaming. On the main site, YouTube Gaming will now appear as a tab on the left, just like the trending destination. From now on, youtube.com/gaming will showcase a personalized carousel of content near the top of the page, including new uploads and live streams from subscribed channels, as well as an area for trending videos. New landing page will have some additional bells and whistles too. This is from the Verge article. Games will now have their own pages, each of which will highlight popular videos, live streams, and other games created by the developer and publisher in question. Users can now subscribe to these games pages individually. An effort to improve discoverability on the platform, YouTube Gaming will highlight smaller creators. That's what that's the On the Rise thing.
So YouTube Gaming, when it first came out, everyone thought it was a Twitch competitor. They thought that like YouTube was now trying to go into the Twitch realm and all that kind of stuff. And now here we are a year later, and they're basically like withdrawing that back into YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that just like an abject failure in that regard?
I think that's admitting that the app was a bad move, and now they're bringing it back in and absorbing all of that analytic data into YouTube Gaming as a whole. Or sorry, YouTube as a whole, not YouTube Gaming, because YouTube Gaming is its own thing. I think those are like two separate brands, at least the way I understand it. Now they're kind of taking YouTube Gaming, bringing it under the YouTube flag. And
3 years later. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. 3 years.
Yeah.
I guess they gave it a try.
Yeah. So Fwiz, Ryan White, gave a quote. He said, when we launched YouTube Gaming app, I think there was a lot of brand confusion in the market of like, well, is this just a live gaming app and experience? What's going to happen to gaming on YouTube versus YouTube Gaming app? White says, and so we're hoping this time around with us moving it to the YouTube proper, or moving it to YouTube proper, it's a clear signal to the community that we care very much about gaming and we want gaming on YouTube to continue to thrive and be a big part of it. I think we had a big misstep and confusion there. Okay. I guess. I don't think it's gonna like. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I don't think it's like the biggest deal. I think it's them admitting like, hey, this wasn't.
Yeah.
The YouTube Gaming app thing didn't work out that well, so we're just gonna move it under the YouTube umbrella and move forward.
It didn't work. Let's put all our eggs in one basket and go from there.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are still confused. I'm still a tiny bit confused in terms of what it actually means, like the business structure of it, but I don't think that information's out there to make sense of it. So it is what it is. That's the thing. Yeah, they're.
Well, I think it's like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, like putting out Crystal Pepsi, and they're like, "Hey, look at this clear drink we got, guys. This new shit." And everybody's like, "That shit sucks," and you're like, "All right, you like Pepsi though, right? We'll just go back to Pepsi.
Yeah.
We'll stick with what we know, I guess."
Yeah.
And by the way, just to be perfectly clear, because there was some confusion in both the chats I'm looking at, the streaming on YouTube is not going anywhere. You can go right now, and there's people streaming on YouTube. That's a permanent thing. We're just talking about the brand of YouTube Gaming.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
not going anywhere from the looks of it.
Yeah,
the front page, I just went to gaming.youtube.com, and it looks like, the front page of it looks like a lot like Twitch, like the Twitch front page.
It does.
Yeah, they're pretty similar for sure.
They modeled it after Twitch.
Yeah, which probably isn't the best thing to model it after, to be honest. Let me just see if there's any other news, then we can move into games. It's been, I think, for the most part. There was a Nintendo thing last week where they announced, the big announcement was Animal Crossing. Either of you guys aren't Animal Crossing fans, right? That's kind of, I think that's outside of the show's wheelhouse.
No, dude, let me tell you. When I heard the news that Animal Crossing was... Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I fell asleep.
I get it.
No, it's one of those titles that if you love it, you are rabidly a fan of it.
Totally. And we're talking like diehard fan, like crazy, huge fan of Animal Crossing. There's videos out there that I've seen of people losing their fucking minds over that announcement. So, to each their own. I'm happy that people like the game that much.
Wait, hold on. Isn't someone in your household, JP, Animal Crossing fan, or am I thinking of some other game?
No, I don't. Aaron's not the biggest Animal Crossing fan, I don't think.
Or the kid.
The kid might be. I'm not too sure. Maybe.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's playing lately. This is 6 days old news, so I don't know if full sales, like global sales for Spider-Man, have gotten out there, but there's been some interesting numbers floating around out there. So in Japan, God of War debuted with 46,000 units shipped, or sorry, sold. These are sales. 46,000 units sold in Japan in the first week. Spider-Man opened with 125,000 in the first week, tripling God of War. in Japan. So I really want to see, because there was also some UK reports of Spider-Man doubling God of War sales in the UK as well. I want to see global sales for that first week. I bet you it's actually insane. I hope that it's actually insane because I want to see more of that game. We didn't get to talk to Ko about it, but the game's really good. Did you play it yet, Zeke? Have you touched it at all off stream?
Nope, not yet.
You need to. The story's... Ko, what'd you think about the end story? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Me?
Yeah, where are you at with the end of... Okay, 2 thumbs up. I would agree.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Dude, like I said at the end, and this has been a very controversial thing that I've said. I enjoyed the main story in Spider-Man.
Don't say it.
More than the main story of God of War.
God damn it, I knew you were going to say that.
Don't say that.
Yeah, don't fucking say that.
Sorry.
I think it... Oh, God, it's hard not to talk. I could see why you would say that.
It's really important to mention though that it's like, I'm not saying that either was better than the other. It's a preference thing. It's what I like from my stories kind of thing. You know, I'm somebody that likes more characters, more intrigue, more drama. I like characters interacting with each other. I like backstabbing. I like lies. I like reveals. And Spider-Man had all those multiple times, where God of War was much more about like a stoic adventure between a son and a father. So, and don't get me wrong, I love God of War. Great story. It's a difference between like a 95 and a 93, you know, but I got to admit that I like, when I finished Spider-Man, it was much more of a, like, that was awesome. You know, like that whole thing was really, really cool. Like and there were definitely a couple parts in that game where I just completely blindsided by what happened. And cause you know, I'm not a comic book guy. So a lot of the stuff everyone kind of just knows, I don't really know. So for me, that really added to the experience too.
Yeah. I think Spider-Man was a more humanized story. Does that make sense? Like it had more emotion to it.
I think it was a bit more relatable. Like, you know, there's lots of different characters you can relate to in Spider-Man, where it's like, if you don't really connect with the very few characters in God of War, then it's just like, you know, but again, it's really each their own for that kind of thing. So
also like it benefits from taking place in a real place, like it takes place in New York, you know, like it's a real place, you know, that people have been and are familiar with and stuff like that. And they're also not gods, like mythological. Like, yes, they have superpowers, but though only a few people among like everybody in God of War was like god, demigod, whatever.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like mostly just regular humans.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how the Game of the Year show will go, because I think we'll have a similar discussion then, and we'll be able to talk about in full details the story of each game, and we'll be able to express our thoughts and opinions on it more.
Glad you brought this up, JP. For this year's Game of the Year show, we should definitely nail down some specific categories outside of the top 10. It's like top expansions, you know, like, okay.
Yeah. No,
I think it'd even be fun to have a specific category for top games we've all three played this year that didn't necessarily come out this year.
Oh yeah, no, we agreed on that last year, that there's going to be favorite game streamed or whatever, or
there's definitely a lot of those I want to talk about this year.
Yeah, I mean,
favorite games played rather than games of the year.
Totally.
Like there's going to be like a side thing for that, for sure.
PoE's going to show up, Warframe's going to show up, Kingdom Hearts going to show up. Yeah. All that stuff's going to be there.
Exactly.
Without a doubt.
WoW, maybe.
We'll also do a category, top 100 BR games. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way all the way up. It's going to be great. Look forward
Starting with Barbie Playhouse BR and going all the way up.
There's a mod for it. It was really good. Yeah, it was really good. So there was some Red Dead Online news that came out, but I'm trying to cipher through this. And it says that there's the Red Dead Online beta, but it doesn't actually say what. It says Red Dead Online is planned for launch in November 2018, initially as a public beta, with more news to come soon. As with most online experiences, the size and scale, there will be inevitably some turbulence at launch. We look forward to working with our amazing dedicated community to share some ideas, help us fix teething problems, and work us. So they're basically saying, like, look, we're going to fuck this up. All right. It's not going to be a smooth launch at all, but we're going to get it right eventually. That's kind of what I'm reading in this press announcement. So Oh, then it says for more information about Red Dead Online, check out IGN's Q&A here. All right, let's go over to IGN.com. There's a 7-minute video. Jesus. Well, we're not going to sit here and watch through this stuff. There's a full-on interview. Maybe I can get tidbits or something from this. But are you guys weren't really big GTA Online people, right? Like you played it and got the main story.
No, I always meant to check out the GTA 5 RP, and I never actually got around to it. I was always just like almost gonna do it, and then another game came out that I wanted to play, and so on and so forth. But can we just mention this so the chat stops losing their mind? Apparently, there was a world's first method. Got the.
Oh, they killed
mythic,
it. They finally killed
kill.
him. Nice.
They just killed world first mythic Jihan, whatever that means.
That's final boss in the raid. Yeah. That's awesome.
Cool.
I saw they had a 4.1% left attempt last night, and so I guess they killed him. I guess they killed him after reset, is what that means, because it's Wednesday is reset time in Europe for the European servers. So, yeah, that's cool. Congratulations to them. It was the reason why that's such a cool thing is because Method for the longest time in WoW has always been like, the best raiding guild in WoW by a large margin. And so this year, instead of like, they've always done it in like secret in a sense where they don't stream anything. No one's allowed to stream. No one's allowed to like give raid strats, etc. This time around, they streamed the entirety of their progress. And it's been a huge hit on Twitch since they've been streaming that stuff the past week. They had multiple players streaming it. They had like almost like an esports level production thing around it, where they had two guys sitting there talking about like what they're going to be doing on this pool and who messed up and all that type of stuff. It's been a lot of fun for sure. Yeah. Okay. Apparently they have 160,000 right now, so it's doing well. Yeah. Damn. People still care about World of Warcraft. It turns out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's cool. It's definitely cool. Yeah, they're at the Red Bull Stadium in London for that stuff. So there's a lot of money behind it, without a doubt.
Dude, okay. This is pretty cool.
They're doing that in a stadium?
The Red Bull Stadium. So it's not really a stadium. It's more just like a facility that can house, 20 plus people sitting in a chair. What were we going to say, Ko?
I was going to say, apparently, looking back at the tweets, that there were multiple runs at sub 2%, and another limit had multiple sub 1% tries.
Nice. So there was some. Shit. That's cool. I wonder. With Method always being so far ahead, I wonder how much of limits, whatever the limitless, is it limit or limitless for the guild name? Do you know, Ko? What did you just read?
It just says limit.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I wonder how much of Limit's raid progression was because they were watching Method. Is that just like the cynical person in me thinking that they would just watch the stream?
Well, dude, I wondered the same thing about the people that streamed the Destiny thing, because like Goth was saying, it's puzzles.
Yeah.
So it's like, can you imagine like if the world first raiders would have been like completely stuck on the second puzzle, but they just had some guy like watching Goth and his crew, and then they were just like, oh, that's how you do it. And then they just, like it's risky, man. It's risky.
Yeah.
It's cool to see them though, jumping out and still doing it.
I like the idea of like having like spies and stuff. Like, what happened?
I cut him off real bad in the middle of his.
It's like the fifth time to show. I don't know what's going on with my audio. You know what? It's been a great show, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just gonna hang out for the rest of it and let these guys talk it out. So we're good.
Listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. I will make
it's not
sure
you. It's audio
that
issues. It's audio issues.
There's audio delay. Yeah.
Next time I am in the vicinity of your nether regions, I will caress them extra carefully.
I'd appreciate that. Last time you left some friction burns, so
yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Well, I mean, getting adventurous, trying new stuff,
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of getting a handle on what you like, so I'm good.
Fair point.
All right,
anyway, please continue.
Continue, Ko. What were you? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
I don't either.
It's cool. Yeah, like gone.
It's gone. What's kind of cool, Zeke? Like what were you saying?
It's like a marathon. No, I'm fine. No, it's fine. No, I was done talking. I'm not mad. I'm getting mad. I'm not mad.
Zeke, what were you gonna say? Do you ever remember?
Nothing.
Or are we just moving on?
Absolutely nothing.
Awesome.
Now I don't want to talk anymore.
Great. This has been our thoughts on World of Warcraft rating. We'll be back with more next week, where we don't actually say anything for 5 minutes straight. It's gonna be good times. I don't think there's any more news.
I grew up in a house with all men, all boys and men. Like I had 3 brothers and my dad. So the way we just get heard was shouting over each other. So like that's kind of the way I like process things, and I'm sorry.
I get it. I understand.
What I was gonna mention was does this happen very often that World of Warcraft is like on top of the Twitch list?
I think when new expansions hit, yeah, for sure. But I mean, that's every 2 years, right? And I think also when the raids come out, people are hyped to see the mythic raids. But a lot of that stuff isn't streamed for the most part. So this is kind of the first time that at least Method has streamed a lot of that stuff publicly. So that's probably why it's got so many views. I'm interested to see where World of Warcraft goes now in terms of like viewership. Now that all this stuff is like over, if it's going to start to die down again until the next big patch hits. Because we were talking about it earlier in the show. That's a community that's pretty pissed off at Blizzard right now. There are a lot of issues with kind of the grind and how stale it is that they're going to try and address. They've already come out and said some of the stuff that they're hoping to fix with a lot of upcoming patches. So we'll see how that goes. That's always kind of the case with WoWs. You got to just wait and see with what Blizzard does with that stuff. So let's talk games. Cole, you've been playing this Bard's Tale game. I've been getting a lot of people asking me to play it. I turned down a sponsored stream because I didn't think I was going to like it. You seem to really love it. So talk to me about Bard's Tale.
Okay. Bard's Tale 4 is a new game from inXile. Going to start with some of the issues just real quick, because these are kind of important to mention. Okay. They had a slight catastrophe happen with their the people that they chose to deliver their keys, which was, funny enough, one of the same companies Twitch uses for subscriptions, Zasala. Basically what happened was like all these keys were supposed to go out to like thousands and thousands of backers, and the company apparently just completely dropped the ball. And so there's been all this bad PR about, people not getting keys and stuff like that. And then, of course, on top of that, there was a pretty major game stopping bug that a lot of people were experiencing. So they just open it up and it'd be a persistent black screen. And then, of course, the game itself is rather buggy and has some issues as well. Okay.
That said.
So the game's awesome. I'm having a fun time with it. It's the kind of thing where there are issues with it and there are little problems, but the game itself is so kind of cool and unique that I don't really care that much, because the part that I am enjoying, I'm really enjoying. It's basically a game that takes place in full 3D, like a standard RPG. When you're playing it normally, it's full of puzzles, it's full of interesting environments, all sorts of things to go. And then whenever you go into combat, it actually snaps to a 4x4 turn-based grid, similar to like old school dungeon crawler RPGs. It is based in the Bard's Tale world. There's 4 different classes, each with 3-tiered skill trees. There's tons of different items, many items which give passive effects that like change or alter how abilities work. There's apparently a huge amount of lore. I've spent 12 hours in the game now, and as the inXile guy in chat told me today, I haven't left the tutorial city.
What?
So that's been interesting. Yeah.
What? That's not real.
There's like a first city that you start in, and this is like the first main dungeon in that city. And apparently the game kind of opens up once you get out of this area. Dang. Like once you leave Scarbray. My entire game so far has been spent above Scarbray and under Scarbray. There's like an undercity and an overcity. And I'm actually on the quest to kind of complete this area and leave. So I'm right to the end of it now. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's been awesome. It's such a unique game in terms of what it offers. And I'm a huge fan of games like Legends of Grimrock and turn-based stuff like that. And this game really feels like it in a lot of ways. Now, there is a very vocal part of the Bard's Tale community that was expecting this game to be more like Bard's Tale, because this is the 4th. There's Bard's Tale 1, 2, and 3. Are you listening to crackling by any chance?
No.
Okay, just making sure, because there's a bug in this game that causes crackling, and you had a confused look on your face. And I was wondering if you were hearing that.
No.
It sounds like
I was reading some. There's some in chat. No, I'm not hearing any crackling. We're not piping any audio from the stream.
Oh, cool. Okay. But anyway, overall, it's been really enjoyable. Again, I'm only 12 hours in, and apparently, like, it's a 40+ hour game. Huge amount of items. You know, each character has 6 different inventory slots, so it's a pretty thorough RPG with some very cool old school mechanics around it. So, what's also really good is the company in Exile have been very public about the fact that they know there's a bunch of bugs. In fact, they've already, like I said earlier, they've already released 3 different weeks of patch notes that you can go find on their Twitter. And they pretty much, like, in the first stream, I was, even though it was a sponsored stream, I was being very vocal about the things that I was finding. And I was telling the devs, like, you guys need to fix this, and this needs to be fixed and stuff like that. And crazy enough, the first 3 weeks of patch notes have almost every single thing I mentioned addressed in some way. So it's looking good, man. And it's already fun to play. I mean, it's the kind of thing where if you're like me and you can get around a few bugs and it doesn't ruin the whole experience for you, I mean, it's a really enjoyable game, and I'm having a great time with it.
Isn't it a little weird that a game that was like 30 years in the making or something, right? Like from Bard's Tale 3, wasn't some people saying that? From Bard's Tale 3 to
1 is 80s. So it's been a franchise that has been around for like 3 decades plus now.
Right.
Which has been pretty great. In fact, the guy that works on it, his name's Brian Fargo. He was the guy that made this too.
You said 30 years, and I was like, Zeke, that's a stupid number. There's no way. And then oh God, I'm 30 years old. Fucking Christ. I was like, games could be 30 years old. There's no fucking way.
But however long it took from Bard's Tale 3 to Bard's Tale 4, and then they release it, and it has all of these bugs. It's like, take another month or 2, man. Take a look at it.
Bard's Tale 4 was
a little more playtesting.
That's one of the big things. It was a kickstarted game, and they had made some promises during the Kickstarter that they really wanted to kind of make sure happened. So I think that's one of the reasons we're seeing a little bit earlier than it, because you're right, it definitely could have cooked a little bit longer. That's just the way of the game. But they kind of had to get it out when they did, from what I understand, which is why it's out in the state that it's in. So yeah.
Are there
are some? Go ahead.
I just have the questions about these kind of things, these bugs and stuff like that on a release of a game. Are these bugs that everyone's going to run into, or are they specific, like, oh, I found it because I got unlucky, or I something glitched out because of whatever? Or is it like, when I open the menu, the game crashes, like that kind of shit, where they're like, the game's going to crash half the time they open the menu. It's like, nah, push it out.
Well, no, like, for instance, the big thing with this so far is that there are a couple, like, game-breaking bugs. So, like, if you look at the Steam reviews right now, the game actually got mostly negative reviews for the first, like, few hours of it being on Steam. And that's because if you look at the reviews, 8 out of 10 reviews were saying, I can't play the game. It's a black screen. What's going on? So, like, that kind of stuff was there. I think that was addressed. The black screen issue was addressed in day 1 patch, but I'm not entirely sure, because I never had the issue. Like, it ran great for me. A lot of the bugs I ran into too have to do more with, like, balance exploits or things you can tell not working quite right. Like, for instance, I have this specific item that generates charges anytime an action is used, but there's things that I can do in the game that don't cost opportunity, which is like the currency that you use when you do actions. So, for instance, there was a time whenever I wanted, I could just click an item a bunch of times, and since it was free, the passive on another item would then generate a charge every time I did that. And then all of a sudden I have a 100% stun chance on every single attack, which of course is not intended. The big thing is this game is really, really big. There's lots of stuff that connect to each other. Almost every item alters an ability in some way. Like I said earlier, and sometimes like changing what the ability does. It is rife with opportunity for things to be overpowered, not working properly. Like I said, with that scepter that I had, like, that's just not supposed to work that way. So some of the things I ran into, everyone's going to run into. Like, for instance, a lot of people feel the FOV is way too zoomed in, and there's no FOV slider. An FOV slider is coming in the first patch. There's currently no inventory sorting, and things don't really stack properly all the time. Inventory sorting is coming in 2 weeks. So it's stuff like that, little things. There was an exploit where if you had a non-stackable trinket and you were to drag a stack of trinket items on top of it, it would do. Little tiny gotcha bugs. There are more than a couple of those in the game. Now, it is important to mention, though, that it is a single player game. So, you know, if you like, for instance, the exploits and stuff like that, if you don't want to deal with those, just don't do them. That's what I've been doing, and it's been fine. If you go back a little bit, by the way, you can see some of the combat. This is a guy you talk to right after a big fight. So yeah, this is the combat, for instance. But yeah, like again, I want to make sure people understand there are issues in the game, but the game is still awesome. Like, I'm even with all the problems, even with all the bugs, even knowing that all these things I want are coming and not in yet, like, it's still just a joy to play. And I've been having a great time with it.
So this combat is turn-based?
Yes, it's all turn-based. Those gold diamonds you see at the bottom of your opportunity, your characters are on a 4x2 grid and the enemy is on a 4x2 grid, and all of your moves can take like different blocks, and you have to be in certain positions. Some moves do like a T and add burning. You know, some are directly in front of you, some are entire column. And the enemies a lot of times have unique abilities. So like this boss right here had completely unique abilities I hadn't seen in anything else for the last 12 hours. Opportunity can be used all on one character or spread out on the characters. Some characters have channeling abilities. Some characters can do things to bypass the need to use opportunities. There's also a spell point system where your mages kind of build up these points, but then they can cast them without using opportunity. So it's like a parallel system that also has some depth in it, considering trees can then alter and change how that stuff functions. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's there's a lot going on in the game if you kind of dig down, and it's really fun for people like me that love that customization and kind of like feeling your way through these systems and things of that nature. So it's been really cool. It's been really cool.
Is it difficult?
It has been difficult at times.
Okay.
I am playing on a hard difficulty. The thing is, though, is, you know, every time I get a skill or ability, like, I sit down and kind of try to piece through how it's best used on my character and everything. So I've got some pretty strong combinations right now that I just either found out by happenstance, or I've kind of like gotten certain skills that I could tell would synergize. That being said, I've heard it never gets super difficult unless you kind of like, from the few people I know that have been like playing it 10 hours a day for the last few days, they've said that, you know, as long as you kind of keep a good idea about what's going on, it doesn't get too difficult. But on the same vein, I definitely have somebody that I've talked to that's gotten up to a point where they feel they have to go grind to continue. So, you know, it's depends on kind of how you play, I think. If you kind of, this game is rife with side content, like lots of side quests, lots of areas you don't need to go to that you can explore. And if you choose to do all that, you know, you definitely get stronger, get some really good items. This dungeon that I got in, I spent, I think, 4 hours in here. Dang. Tons of secrets, tons of side areas, entire sections you didn't even need to go to if you didn't want to, that had really good items in them. So that was cool.
Now, I tuned into your stream for about 10 minutes earlier, and you were, I'm getting some feedback, by the way. You had like a mace or something up in the air, and you were spinning it around, doing like a puzzle on that. So is everything like that?
No. Those are specific things called puzzle weapons. And those are an old elven type of weapon that the elves locked the true power behind mind games. So what you have to do is you'll get a weapon, and like the hilt will have a matching puzzle in it. And then you have to match the puzzle, and you have to put in a certain type of elven seed to match the weapon. And that might unlock the hilt, which then has a sliding puzzle in it. And then whenever you unlock a piece of the weapon, it generally increases the stats, adds a power or a passive ability. And then what's even crazier is once you unlock a weapon fully, you can open it up and see like this elvish phrase. And there's all these shrines around the world that have those phrases. I have yet to do this because I've only unlocked a couple weapons, but apparently you can then put the elvish weapon in one of these shrines and something happens. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, it's a fun system.
That's a cool way to keep players like I guess invested in a weapon. Like growth on like uniques or whatever in games is always a cool thing, because then you're like, oh man, my fucking weapon's a +4 Demon's Bane, blah blah blah. Instead of just like, yeah, I've got an iron sword. It's all I got. It's pretty cool. Like that type of stuff's cool. So I'm curious to see how that goes in the future.
It's also pretty fun because at this point in the game, which is about 10 hours in, I recently found out how to craft the weapons. And then you can get this kind of like general resource. And then what it allows you to do is it kind of like lets you pick your puzzle weapon. So you don't necessarily like find one that no one in your party uses. Like you can craft a greatsword or craft a poleaxe or something like that. And then use it that way. So yeah,
cool.
It's been really fun.
$35. Can you recommend it for that price? You think there's
I can, even in the current state, I can recommend this for $35.
Okay.
If you are a gamer that likes turn-based combat and kind of old school things. It's kind of weird because I definitely feel like this game is angled towards an older school audience. There are people that are going to play this game and they're going to be like, they're not really going to kind of see where it's coming from, and it's kind of the same way I feel about Legends of Grimrock. There's people that can play Legends of Grimrock and Legends of Grimrock 2 and absolutely love it, like I do. I'm one of those people. There are people that I've watched on their stream open up Legend of Grimrock, play it for 15 minutes, and go, I just don't know. Like, this is weird. I can't move where I want to. Like it's just it's very kind of off the beaten path. So I kind of feel the same way about this game. I feel like this game is going to be a classic someday. That people are really gonna, like once it's finished, hopefully in a few weeks to a month or two, I think it's going to be, something that people really kind of can go back to. Also, I've already seen that the replayability is going to be pretty high. There's so many different things you can do with the characters, different party makeups. You can basically just make your own characters later in the game. So you can kind of customize your own party with their own specializations and classes and stuff. And the synergies are going to pop up from that. Then you add in the skills and the weapon passives and everything. It's going to be kind of nuts.
Cool.
Now, did you mention? You may have mentioned it, and I may have missed it. A couple of things: the story, music, and voice acting.
Voice acting. Every character is voice acted. It's beautiful. And it's all good voice acting. Okay. Like, I have not yet met a character I didn't like. Apparently, they did most of the voice acting in Scotland. So it's like, it's all like really kind of, like has accents and it feels really, really in there. There's some incredibly good voice acting. And there's also some good, like when you're just running around, the members of your party will start talking to each other, which is fun too. The music, over 100 custom pieces of music for the game. And I'm talking like damn decent singing. Like a lot, like you'll come up to a group of women and they're all like, doing laundry and stuff. And they're all singing in harmony. Or there'll be just a woman kind of like doing a vocal only thing, like sitting on the side of the road singing. You walk through the slums and there'll be like two people kind of like singing almost a discussion to each other. It's really good. And the combat music is great. It hasn't become tiring at all in the 12 hours. I found myself humming it off stream yesterday. The music is top notch. Story has been fun too so far. It's been kind of traditional, a traditional fantasy fare so far. But again, I'm like in the first area. So not too much has really opened up yet. But all the characters have been great. Fully voice acted. The music has been top notch. Sound effects are great. Animations, especially in combat, super detailed and good. There's a lot of quality in there, man.
Cool. Bard's Tale 4. Is it just Steam, by the way?
No, it's GOG 2.
Oh, I'm saying, is it just PC, by the way?
Yes.
That's what I meant to ask.
Yeah, it's weird how Steam has become synonymous with PC.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gaben.
Of course, I'm like the only person that would have corrected that. So, hashtag ad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let me see. Bard's Tale 4 console. It is coming to consoles.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it came out on PC first, and then the fantasy role-playing sequel launches on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One later this year.
Cool. Okay. I guess we'll circle back next week.
And if you fight near somebody that's singing, they'll start singing along with the combat music.
In what way? Like humming to it, or
they'll start singing along. Like everything synergizes. Like if you're near someone that's singing, it'll all kind of like come together. It's really cool.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Again, there's so many little things in this game that I think especially older gamers can really kind of like appreciate. Like it's fun.
Cool.
Almond Tour in chat said there's an eating sound in Bard's Tale 4. Is that really? Is it? Because that is a fucking big negative for me.
Well, I mean, if you right click on an item and it's food and you eat it, like they make little munching sound. What he's talking about? I'm somebody that hates listening to people eat. If I'm watching a stream and they start eating and chewing to the mic, I don't care who they are. I'm gone. Okay. I don't remember having any of that feeling in Bard's Tale 4.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
No, you said like all the right things. This game seems like it's perfect for me. Obviously, I love fantasy. The turn-based combat is a huge plus for me. If the sound and voice acting and the story are solid, then I'm very forgiving with bugs as well. So I can overlook a lot of that shit.
I would love for you to try this game. If nothing else, just I'd like to know your opinion on it. Like I'm curious because it does hit a lot of the bases I think you like. So it'd be pretty cool.
Sweet.
Cool. Zeke, I opened up your Kiwami 2 VOD and immediately stumbled upon a young Asian woman in a maid outfit, scantily clad. And then I'm glad I did that because now we're actually getting to the story here.
Oh, I thought it was through the photo shoot.
No.
Well, you can go back to that. That was
no.
that
I'm
was
okay.
Like,
I'm all right. I'd like to actually monitor. No, I want to make sure that I get paid for doing this. Instead of.
Are you? You wouldn't. There's no nudity.
YouTube doesn't give a fuck. They will demonetize.
YouTube is pretty bad about it. Yeah. YouTube is pretty bad.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we get those Mr. Clean ads, not the Mr. Dirty ads. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying there?
That was a stretch.
There was.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Something. So
if
you want to see me do the dating game, or not, not the dating game, the photography game, and apparently this is a thing. What's the name of it? There's an actual term for like people who go and pay to take photographs of models.
I think it's perverts.
There it is, gravure, or I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
gravure. What?
Yeah,
that's a thing.
Gabure.
Huh.
I'm guessing is somewhere near how it's pronounced, but
gravure.
Yes, in the game you can go to a place where you can take photographs. There's only 2 models though, which is, I mean, in the other like in Zero, right? You could watch videos with lots of different models. This one only has 2, but granted, it was an add-on. Like this, there's a lot of extra content in the remake because Kiwami 2. If you've never played the Yakuza series, anything with a Kiwami on it means it's a remake of the original. So Yakuza Kiwami is a remake of Yakuza 1. Yakuza Kiwami 2 is a remake of Yakuza 2. And it's just updated graphics, added content, all this kind of stuff. There's a bunch of added content in this that I haven't even got into because what I wanted to do, like I got really hooked on doing the hostess missions. So that took up like, I want to say 2 broadcasts, if not a little bit more than 2 broadcasts. Not because the mission itself was that long, but because I had to go back and do some main story stuff to unlock characters in order to finish the hostess mission. But that was a fucking lot of fun. The photography shit is as campy and as cheesy as you think it is. And also they do, I mean, it's such a weird thing that they do in these newer Yakuza games where they actually have like real like JVN models, I think.
Yeah,
is what they are,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
Real JVN models in real life, like this full motion video of you like taking pictures and they're actually talking to the camera. And JAV. AVN is the Adult Film Awards. JAV are the actresses. Japanese action videos. Thank you. But yeah, they insert like real girls, and you can actually like look them up if you'd like. They're real actresses.
Yeah.
But it's that kitschy quality of the Yakuza series that I love, because it's super serious gangster story with this hardcore like ass kicking motherfucker Kiryu. And then every once in a while he'll go sing like weird karaoke songs or take pictures of models or do a phone club thing or that kind of shit. It's great. I love the interspersed Japanese like cultural stuff that they throw in there.
Now, I feel like with the amount of time that we've spent talking about Yakuza on this show that I've probably played through Yakuza 1 already. Is that accurate, or where are we at with that time to play / time discussed?
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
The reason why it's because the people at Sega Atlas keep updating these games, keep putting out like new content for these particular games. That was already there's 7 games in the series, so it's a big fucking series. So there's a lot of content, and now there's 8 games if you count the 2 remakes.
Right.
9 games. Excuse me, 9. Because 7 plus 2 is 8, right? No, I'm an idiot. But yeah, now there's 9 games in the series if you count the 2 remakes. So, like, I've played 8 of the 9 games because I didn't play Yakuza 1 on its original system or anything, but I did play the PlayStation 2 version of Yakuza 2.
Mm-hmm.
I played Yakuza 2 twice. That's probably why I'm not going to go back to it, because I saw some of the extra content and stuff, and there's like mini games that I don't really even give a shit about. Like there's that the construction mini game, which I'm like, nah, I don't care. But I did go back and complete the Hostess game because that was hype as fuck, and it's quick and it's easy.
Hype as fuck.
And you can make up your girls to look like hot, sexy, like hostesses, or you can make them look like a clown, and it works either way.
Nice,
great,
nice. Right, that's Yakuza Kiwami. By the way, the people that make Yakuza are making a Fist of the North Star game. Are either of you going to check that out? Because it looks really good from the videos I've seen about it. When is that? The demo's out now, but it comes out in October, I think, fully. Do you guys know?
Stay tuned for some potential early coverage. Ooh. Fist of the North Star.
Oh, have you followed Fist of the North Star before, Code? Do you know?
I know nothing about it. I've only seen I think I saw the anime, maybe like really old anime, like a few years back or something. And I think it was kind of incredible, but all I know is like I've had so many people ask me about it. I looked into it. Apparently the people that have played it are loving it. Like it's sounding really cool. So yeah.
The anime is gore. I mean, for how old it is, it's gory as fuck.
It's unbelievably gory, which is why I'm like
Berserker level stuff at some points.
It was Berserk before Berserk was Berserk. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's I'm excited to hear you talk about that whenever you get to be able to play that, for sure. Because it's supposed to have the same like story type stuff that Yakuza does in terms of like length and everything, but it's supposed to be super fucking crazy combat where you're punching people and they're just exploding into like red mist and all that stuff. So we'll see. That comes out October-ish, but maybe we'll talk sooner if Co's getting early access to it, because it sounds like it's gonna be pretty good.
And there's another one by Sega Atlas. I don't know if it's Sega Atlas, but that's coming out. Yeah, it's Sega. That's called Project Judge, and it's
right
in the same kind of wheelhouse as Yakuza.
If you would have told me that was a Yakuza game, I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. But you play like a private detective, I guess. Is it in the same like? I said same world, and everyone's like, yeah, dude, it's in Tokyo. No, but I mean, is it in the same like universe as the Yakuza games is based in, or do you guys not know?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Sure.
It's same. Oh, it's in Kamurocho. Is it? Oh, it is in the same universe.
Oh, wow.
Well, no one better. I with all the people coming into my chat while I was playing. Have you seen the Judge? Blah blah blah. Have you seen the fucking trailer? Someone would have said it takes place in the same universe, so I just assumed it wasn't.
Huh,
dude, it looks incredible. Like it's like Yakuza PI, essentially. It looks so good, and the characters look great, and the story looks engaging. Like that. Oh man.
I'll just say this: if fucking Date's in it, I'm not buying it.
I don't know.
I'm not getting the game.
I don't know what that
Date is a character in the Yakuza series who is like the most inept, worst detective of all time. He's just he fucks up. Like you've given him like 8 or 9 tasks throughout the series, and he fucks up 7 of them.
But hey, he got it right once.
One time he got it right. Yep.
Where's his dap for that? Zeke, come on, man.
Jesus.
He tries.
1 out of 7 is a failing grade.
He tries real hard,
especially for a detective who's been on the force for that long. Come on. Fuck him.
Jesus.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We talked about this last week. It was a little rushed. I've put a lot more time into it now. Dragon Quest XI, I think will definitely come back up on Game of the Year list for me. I think I just crossed over 25 hours in, and I'm maybe what feels like a 4th or a 5th of the way through the game. I'm very early on still. But this game's basically just like like a lot of people compare it or are saying it's like the best JRPG since Persona 5. For my interest, I think it's better than Persona 5. Persona 5 was very contained in the sense that you had like a daily routine that you had to do that was always the same, etc. This one is just open. There's an entire map. You go explore the world and all that stuff. It's very difficult though. This fight in particular, I get very raged. I actually lose this fight. These are normal mobs right after I just fought a boss. Hard mode is turned on though. You can toggle it, or you can turn it off, but you can't turn it back on once you start. But apart from that, like it's a really good game. It's just like 100+ hours. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have questions or want to keep playing PoE, but just ask me anything about Dragon Quest. I'll tell you. Otherwise, we can move on to another thing.
How is it streaming? Like, how's it been for you, like viewership and all that kind of stuff? Wise, that's one thing I'm like as a streamer, I'm curious about.
It's about what you would expect for JRPG games. Like, I feel like they have their audience on Twitch, but that audience is not very large, and a lot of that audience would rather play it than watch it be played. I also think too that most people that watch are past where you're at in the story. So they like if you pass them and where they're at in the story, they won't watch until they've caught up or gone past you.
Okay.
I get that a lot in chat for sure, but it's definitely a smaller audience on Twitch. Like I've seen Dan streams this game regularly at nights, and his viewership is much more dwarfed or much dwarfed compared to the other stuff that he plays on stream for sure. It just has a smaller audience to it on Twitch.
I mean, I gotta say, one of the things that's holding me back from picking up this game is your comments about the music. Like,
that's the other thing.
The music, it has to be like, because that's why I asked about the music in Bard's Tale, because it's a huge part of the game for me. Like, it has to have a good soundtrack, or a soundtrack that is forgettable. It can't be bad.
Well, the music's not necessarily bad. It's just that you hear it for 100+ hours and there's very little variance. There's a patch that comes out on Friday, by the way, that's like putting in what? What are you freaking out about?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the mod, the orchestral mod.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is the composer is like unbelievably litigious, I think. So be very careful about using this mod on PC to replace all the music in the game, because I don't know. I'd be fearful. It's not a game like sanction mod. No.
Okay.
Yeah, like the composer is apparently like a like a Holocaust denier. Like, he's a little out there in terms of his beliefs and whatnot. And he has very strict. Yeah. He has very strict guidelines with Square Enix in terms of where his music could be used and stuff like that. So he's he's an odd guy. So it is a hack. So be careful with using that. That said, like, you can turn the music down. It has a volume slider. I think I have it on like 3. It's the same music over and over. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily fit the plot. Like, there's a very sad moment and like a super upbeat trumpet song starts playing that's almost like the battle theme. And that's a little odd, but it gets drowned out. A lot of times I don't even hear it, which is a bad thing to say, but it's not. You could turn it down, so it's not that bad, right? Like, it's one thing if it was just constantly blaring in your ears nonstop and you couldn't fuck with it at all, but.
All right, real quick. I think we need to go just ahead and set a record, because I don't think he's going to leave if I don't do this otherwise.
Uh-oh.
Two babies in one day on drop frames.
Oh, God. That's scary. That's too many kids.
You going to say hi to them? Hi.
Oh, my God. Look at that little towhead. Oh, that's awesome.
Towhead? What's a towhead?
That's
blonde.
That's Uncle Steve.
Oh.
And Uncle JP.
Oh.
Want to wave hi to them again? Say hi. Hi. And dunk.
Is towhead a Montana thing? Have you heard of toe-headed?
Maybe.
I've never heard that before.
It's a colloquialism for sure, but yeah, it just means like super blonde.
Huh. Never.
I actually was this way as a kid too, weirdly enough. That's you.
But yeah, that's Dragon Quest. I don't know. Apparently the game has multiple parts to it. Like, there's some pretty story world elements. The world is also massive. I've spent 25 hours in it, and I think I've visited what feels like a very small, like maybe 20 or 30% of the world. I just kind of got like the next big quest, so that's what I'm working towards now, but it's good. It's good. Do mobs drop good items? They drop like craftable. The crafting in this game is really good, by the way. There's no fishing code, but the crafting in this game is very, very good. Very simple. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing it. It's like 100+ hours, so I guess I'm going to try to finish it, because there's not much out between now and October-ish when other big games start coming out. So that's Dragon Quest. Zeke, you want to do Indie Sunday?
Sure, I'd love to.
All right, let me pull it up. Let's see.
Or you know what? Nah, let's not do it this week.
Let's not do it. You not want to do it this week? All right. What?
All right. The first game was probably the best game that I played on Sunday, and it's a fucking funny, awesome, cool game. And this is it.
Oh, that was like the Steam thing.
Oh yeah, I watched the previews now. Like I let the audience watch a trailer before I actually play the game to give them a taste of what's coming. This game is called, I want to say it's Breathedge, but I'm not sure if it's something pronounced differently, but it's Breathedge.
One word?
Breathedge. Yep, all one word. And the blurb says, experience the life of a simple guy with simple needs who tries to survive in the depths of the deep space. Explore, build, kick corpses, and poke everything with a chicken. Came out September 13th, so about 6 days ago. Very positive review by Red Ruins Softworks. It is in early access, so it's not complete yet. It was released in early access 6 days ago.
It's episodic, right?
I guess, yeah. It's normally $15.99. It's on sale right now for $12.79 for the next day, and it is totally worth it. This game was fucking hilarious. It was fun to play. It's what it had is what I wanted in Subnautica, which is a sense of humor. Like, I don't mind doing like collection and building and crafting and that kind of shit. If this doesn't feel so solitary like Subnautica does, which I think that's on purpose, of course, but this game feels like it doesn't feel as isolated as that, because there's always like some comedy and some voices talking to you and that kind of stuff, where you're still the only, like, I played it for a couple of hours and I was the only living person that I ever saw. I heard voices like trying to contact me on the radio. There was like it sounded like you ever get those bad Russian emails from like ladies like going like, hey, you come join me, my website here. And it was like, you would get like messages, like voice messages from a babe out in space who was like, come save me. You come now? Radiation? No, not too bad. Like that kind of shit. It's fucking great. But the sense of humor is great. Like one of your items is an immortal chicken. And you use the immortal chicken to do all kinds of stuff. You use it to, like, there's an air leak and you use it to like clog the air leak, and you realize that chickens aren't airtight and the leak starts coming out of the chicken's butt. So you're like, oh, well, that's not gonna work. So you take some chewing gum and do it instead. You use it to like short out electrical wires. So you take this immortal chicken on a stick and you just jab it at these electrical wires, go, and it shorts it out so you can like progress past it, and you don't get hurt. But yeah, there's like one of the first things that you're like tasked, like your quest is to create, is the name of the item that you're supposed to create is something to the effect of a task laid out for you by the developers. It's like, so it's a fourth wall kind of breaking just to teach you how to build stuff. The thing you build is like, this is your task from the developers, is like the name of the item that you're supposed to build. But it is fucking funny. It's fun. There are like survival mechanics. There's food and water mechanics. They're not like, it's not super difficult, meaning they go down gradually, but they're easy to construct, like a nutrient pack and a bottle of water in order to, like, you know, take care of your hunger and your thirst and stuff. You sleep to regain your health and so on and so forth. But it has a lot of elements in the right places and tons of humor, enough to keep someone like me who's not big on collection, crafting, and base building stuff interested and keep going and stuff. And it was great. 2 hours, totally well spent. One of the rare cases where I feel like I'm going to go back and actually play this game all the way through when it comes out episodically.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised with how good it looks.
Not a lot of it, but there was good music.
Huh. Yeah, I'm surprised graphically how good it looks. It looks very good graphically. It's just surprising to hear all that.
Yeah.
I want to try to, because right now we're seeing mostly story stuff.
It's like if you took Subnautica, put it in space, and then made its graphics like Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
A little more cartoony and exaggerated.
Do they push like the isolation of space in here when you're like pushing around like this, or is it just kind of like, hey, go outside, people are in your ears nonstop? Like, how does that relate to the game, or is that feeling in the game at all?
No, you don't spend a lot of time out in space. You don't spend long periods of time out in space because, to begin with, your oxygen supply is really limited. So you got like maybe 3 or 4 minutes out in space, and then you have to go back and refuel. One of the first objectives is to upgrade your suit so you can spend more time out in space. You have to find a giant condom that serves as like an air bladder that you connect to your suit. You have to like craft it, and it gives you like 25 more breath or breathe, I guess is what it's called.
Nice.
So you start with 50 breathe, and then that gives you like 75 breathe. But yeah, and you come across like when I floated to this because you're in a like exploded ship, and I floated to this debris, and I saw that's how I got the condom. Is there was a scene of a dude like handcuffed to like a bed, like an astronaut like handcuffed to a bed, like floating out in space. He had like a condom on his head, and that's how I got it. So it's really, really fun.
Nice. Well, cool. How much is Breathedge?
Breathedge is normally $15.99, but it's on sale for the next 21 hours for $12.79.
Okay.
And Zeke, bear in mind, again, it is early access.
Sure.
And also, real quick to confirm, is that for just episode 1 or is that for everything?
I do not know. I'm looking here. Full version should become a full-fledged game and a perfect choice to play with your mother watching if you'd like to survive a week or two under house arrest.
It says people in chat are saying everything.
Okay.
But does it state
all DLC
otherwise?
Is free. Okay.
Does it state otherwise on the Steam store? On the like page?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll down through like the main.
Yeah, that's kind of an important distinction that they should make on there if it's episodic.
Right? It doesn't say down here. How long did you say it took you, Zeke?
Oh, I didn't even complete it. I just played it for a couple of hours and I put it down because I had other games to get to. But I'm coming back to it. I don't know how long. People were saying like the first episode takes like 4 to 5 hours to complete or something. Maybe less.
Cool. All right, let's move on then. That's a weird game name, Breathedge. That's just odd.
Yeah.
Breathedge. Well, it's a Russian company. So.
It's what?
It's a Russian company, I think.
Oh.
Could have something to do with it.
Gotcha.
Also, it says right here, we plan to make a second episode for the new year. So episode 2 actually may be out like before the end of the year. Awesome. Okay. This is looking nothing but awesome. Everything about that game looks cool. A lot of people are saying about 3 hours. Okay.
3 hours for the first episode. So I would imagine that it's $16.99 for the whole thing. Because if you have to pay $16 or $15.99, if you have to pay $16 for 3 hours, that'd be a little fucking exorbitant.
That's a lot. What's this one with Nina and Alex?
What was this one? This is Kholina. Yeah. I did not know you were playing it as soon as because someone suggested it, because that's how I get most of my indie games is my Discord game suggestions tab. Someone suggested it. I looked at it. I went, it looks pretty cool. So I picked it up, not knowing that you had already played it. It is called Kholina, Colina Legacy, is the name of the game. It's by Chance 9 Studios. Came out September 13th, so 6 days ago. It's $10 on Steam normally, but for now it's 10% off. So it's $8.99. I liked it. It didn't have I don't know. I think it just suffered from having a lower budget, where it gave me like very much like Resident Evil vibes, but with the same graphical quality. It's not super detailed or whatever. And why is this clip just me on the phone?
I just picked a random thing in the game.
This is the whole game. It's just me on the phone.
I did that too, Zeke.
But yeah, it's a Resident Evil style kind of like horror survival puzzle game, where you go around this creepy old house and you find these runes that you shine your flashlight through, and each rune does a different thing. So if you have like say the open rune or unlock rune or whatever it's called, you shine it at like something that's locked and it goes and the lock like kind of disappears. And there's puzzles like this, like the book puzzle. You have to find all the books laying around and then insert them and put them in the right order and stuff like that. The creepy quality is pretty good. There's voices and scary sounds and eeriness and that kind of stuff. They're pretty good with that. There's a couple of tense moments when things are out after you, chasing you out to get you, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The setting is pretty good. It's just it just suffers from not having the budget to make it like crisp quality graphic wise. But everything is kind of like
what?
Go.
I was just gonna say this game was made by 5 people over 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yep. Is it from what I played? Because I played. Let's see. I played just around 2 hours. Is it worth $10? I would say yeah. I would say it's definitely worth $10. For the 2 hours that I played, I was definitely willing to play it for a longer period of time.
If you put some like jankier movement in this and told me it was a Resident Evil game, I'd probably believe you.
Yeah, no, there's no like getting away from the comparison. It's definitely a lot like Resident Evil. The controls are much better though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Controls.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's not as clunky, I guess, as like some of the early Resident Evils for sure. Cool. How much is Kholina Legacy? You said 15? Is that what you just said?
No, $10. It's on sale right now for $8.99 until tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, it's normally $10.
Gotcha.
I actually have like 4 hours in this game right now, and I'm going to be probably doing the conclusion at some point this weekend.
Nice. Okay.
Someone asked, did you make it out of the house? Yes, I did. I made it out of the house. I got to the backyard, the parts of the forest, and the whatever. So yes, I did. It does open up.
This looks cool. What's this?
Man, God, I wanted to love this game so much.
Uh-oh.
It had so many elements in the right place. This game is called Akane.
What?
Or
spell it.
A-K-A-N-E.
Okay. A-K-A-N-E. Okay.
Want to say Akane.
I mean,
I'm not exactly positive that's how you say it. But 2121 AD with no escape options, Akane prepares for her final battle in the rain-soaked neon streets of Mega Tokyo. Akane is an arena arcade slasher. Take out as many Yakuza as possible, slashing and shooting in a one-hit, one-kill fight to the death. This game is $3.99, so it's super cheap, $4. The reason why everything is like almost everything is in the right place for me. The music, the style, all of that. However, the aiming of the sword and the gun are a little strange because you don't actually the mouse cursor does not aim the sword. The sword slashes whatever direction you're pointing. So if you want to slash someone on the left, you actually have to press. You have to press the A and then slash. someone is above you, W, and then slash. So it's not like you point like most twin sticks where you point like where you're aiming and then, hit the, fire attack button. However, that's exactly how the gun works though. So you have to switch between that. Like the gun, you hold down shift to go into gun mode, and then the mouse like cursor appears on the screen, and then you can shoot them. So it was kind of funky for me. That's the one thing. People are saying controller support. No, that's why I am waiting, because I don't want to hate this game, or I don't want to not like it. I guess it's great. It's fantastic. I'll wait for controller support. That seems, have controller support, I will play it again.
That seems like something I agree. I feel like you look at these type of games and you're like, oh, well, this obviously is a controller game. But maybe I'm just, maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know.
I'm once they have controller support,
it
doesn't have controller.
I'm sorry.
Support. I was going to say, I'm surprised it doesn't have controller support. It looks like this is exactly the kind of game that would use it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's something apparently they're adding later. But I play all twin sticks with controller. Hotline Miami, Ruiner, like all those top-down twin sticks. I've always played them with a controller because twin sticks.
Totally.
And yeah, so once it comes out, and it's like an arena, so you last as long as you can. You face a boss, and then I'm guessing another wave comes. But I never, I got to the first boss like 3 times, and I never like even damaged it because I couldn't get a handle on the controls with the keyboard switching between the blade and the gun and stuff like that. So I'll wait for controller. But honestly, at $4, I'm still not disappointed that I tried it. It's only $4.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap for sure.
Yeah.
I lost thumbnails for a sec. Okay, we're back. What is this game?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. This game ended up we skipped one, but that's okay.
Okay.
Because I only played it for like 20. I only played it for like 20 minutes, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
This game is called The Inner Friend. The and inner INNER, and then friend FRIEND.
Sure.
Descend into an eerie world made of scattered memories and unresolved traumas, and explore a nightmarish landscape where you will come face to face with childhood fears and nightmares. This game is one of those. It's very atmospheric. It doesn't really tell you a lot, which I really like. I like that you have to kind of like puzzle out not only how to do things, but the story. The controls are super simple. It's just like move, jump, interact. Those are like, that's all the buttons. It tells this story of, with no words, of like a childhood, like there's scenes that take place in classrooms and or a high school or a junior high school or something like that. And it's really like artsy. There's a lot of cool paintings and sculptures throughout the game. There's the basic gist of the progression of the game is puzzles. So you have to figure out, like in this particular area, you're like in a museum, and you have to not get spotted by the watching eye. So you hide, like you walk, hide behind something, wait for the eye to pass, walk, hide behind something else, so on and so forth. There's also like maze puzzles where you have to break mirrors and in a certain way to get through, and yada yada yada. But the main draw of this game is the look and feel of it. It feels like you are playing a dream. It just has this really cool, enveloping, immersive atmosphere. And like I said, there's no real story that they feed you. It's just here's some stuff. Run away from this. This is the representation. Like this is the monstrous representation of a teacher. Take from it what you will.
Huh.
Kind of a thing. But yeah, it's really, really cool. It's by released September 6th, so it's been out for about 2 weeks by PlayMind. is the name of the dev and the publisher. It is $14.99 on Steam. Bit on the high side, but if you like what I've talked about, like the atmospheric, it's not super challenging, not like brain bustingly challenging. It's more for story and how the game makes you feel, and if that appeals to you, totally worth it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like what it's puzzle solving in some fashion, I assume. Like walk, I don't. Yeah, nice notification there.
You like that?
Really fits the game for sure. What
are you looking at my bit?
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
But okay, well there goes VOD. You went through the mirror and it broke Twitch. So thanks a lot, Twitch.
Fourth wall. See, it crashed my computer when I did not.
Jesus. All right. Let me see if I can bring back more of that. Oh, you said we skipped the game, right? Do you want to go back?
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about it. I only played it for 20 minutes, so I'm guessing I didn't like it.
Okay. All right, we can skip it. I think that's. Oh, then you did some Just Dancing. You did some more Just Dancing. How is the Just Dance of 2017? Have you not upgraded to 2018 yet?
Not out yet. It's out in October.
Okay. All right.
No, I looked.
What's your favorite song here in the Just Dance world on the 2017 release? What's your go-to?
So what song I danced to? Let's see. Here's some
Beebs.
Beebs is great, man. He's great to dance to.
What is this? This is Japanese, it looks like.
Well, how I do it, because this is my Saturday, so like I was doing like Richard Simmons, like Sweating to the Oldies stuff. Yeah. I've moved on to the Just Dance, so I do it for an hour on Saturday, and I pick a song, I let the audience pick. I pick a song, I let the audience pick, and we just go back and forth like that. So I pick Beebs, and of course the assholes in my audience are like, pick that really weird Japanese song that just repeats itself, like boop boop beep 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 boop 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 beep beep boop boop beep boop boop beep 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 boop boop beep, and I'm just like, fucking guys, come on.
What is this song? I'm confused. They don't have the song always on the screen. I kind of wish they did, but I guess you're supposed to hear it right off the bat. What is this?
Well, yeah, they have the lyrics. This is this is a famous song. It's what song is this? Oh, blow a kiss, fire a gun. We need someone to lean on. Blow a kiss.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fire a gun.
I gotcha. Okay. Sure.
But yeah, I love that tune. But my favorite tune to dance to probably
Happy, right? You really like this one?
I love Happy. It's such a great tune.
Yeah, I've got an emote.
That's what I go to sound check, like to make sure on my like if I put new set like speakers or whatever in, I go to like Happy and to check because I love that song. But my favorite song to dance to was probably Don't Stop Me Now. Queen.
Yeah.
Can't Stop Me. Don't Stop Me Now. That was a lot of fun. There's the Poo Poo Pee Pee song. Terrible.
Hold on, let me. What? This is it right here with the cabbage and the carrot.
That's another. Oh God, it's Miku. That's another one of those goddamn songs.
Wait, is this Miku Hatsune or whatever? Is that what this song is?
I don't fucking know, man.
The girl's dressed up like her.
Oh, I'm sure.
Chat, can we get confirmation? Is this okay? Yes, this is Miku or Hatsune Miku. Yeah. You should reach out to Ubisoft and get some sponsored stream. They'd love this. I don't know if that many people except the IRL streamers that play this game. So
I'll tell you what, man.
You'd be the best.
Just Dance, like doing like 45 minutes to an hour of Just Dance, kicks my ass 3 times as hard as any Richard Simmons fucking video. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Yeah. I was sweating like a goddamn beast after I did like 3 songs, and I think I ended up doing like 8 total. It's just dancing is hard.
Is this about vegetables? What's with?
I don't fucking know or care, JP.
I'm just curious why everything's like vegetable themed.
Seriously, that's your question?
Yeah. I mean, what else would be my question here? It's not. It's not why are you doing this?
I wouldn't ask any. I would look at this and go, This song looks like it was made for and by Japanese people, and move on.
I just want to understand what's happening. You know, are they trying to get a message about fiber out there? Is there a fiber shortage in Japan? Is that what's going on? What are the cultural reasons, Zeke? That's really what I'm trying to get at. You know, but I'll figure it out on my own. I'll figure it out on my own.
No, if you go back to that video and please go to Hips Don't Lie, so people can see I'm actually a good dancer.
Where's Hips?
What's the end song? It's the very end.
The very end. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, it's the last song. If you can find it.
Is this it?
There it is. Yeah. You look how good a dancer I am.
Is this Shakira?
Oh, this is Shakira. You bet. My hips did not lie this time. The first time I tried it, my hips lied. This time, they did not tell a lie.
You're nailing it. Yeah, you're doing great.
Oh, yeah. I can shake it.
Dude,
I can shake
you're doing better than the dancing chick right now.
She's really phoning it in. I gotta say,
she really is phoning it in. I agree.
But like, this is probably like the 10th take. She's like, "Oh fucking Christ, let's do this shit again."
What I love is the dead look in my eyes and my mouth wide open because I'm trying to breathe and I'm so exhausted that I have no facial expression. I'm just like, because it's fucking hard. Dancing is hard.
Well, I think that's why, like, you can't even see her face because she's probably doing the same thing, right? They probably do that for all it. Can you see any of the?
No, they're all faceless. Like they don't. If they do have a face, it's like a giant robot, like a Lego head with a face on it. But they never show their actual faces. At least not as far as I've seen.
Is that jumping Flash? What the fuck is this thing? What? Is this just a mascot? They put mascot with. Let's move on. All right, let's just.
Again, you're asking questions. Don't do that.
Fucking.
I was gonna say we can do this for the rest of the day, man. What is that? What is he dancing?
What is going? Look at the candies at the back. You're nailing it with the little this thing. You're just great. This is fantastic. Anyways, does this use the PlayStation camera? Is that how it tracks your movement? That's how. Or does
it doesn't. You don't even actually need the PlayStation Eye. You just need or the PlayStation camera, whatever it's called now. You just need the motion controller. The motion controller tracks your score. Because you see that hand on the dancer on the screen there with the green hand?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to copy.
What was that, Co?
Wait, doesn't the camera track the things?
No, it uses the motion controller. That's what. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying so? Oh, wow. Okay, I thought that those still needed the camera.
Yep, you can even use your phone if you use it on.
Cool.
You can use. I couldn't figure it. That's why I switched from PC to PlayStation because I couldn't figure out how to get my phone because you connect it through Wi-Fi. If you hold your phone, like it tracks. It's like it's got like GPS or whatever the fuck they use.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you don't need a camera. Yep.
Huh.
Cool.
All right.
Very cool.
That's just dance. Zeke, I think that's all you played the past week. Are we? Yeah, 2 Point Hospital, Yakuza, Just Dance, Indie Sunday. Seems everything. Did I miss anything?
Yep.
Cool.
I think so, yeah.
Let me run down Co's list here. Oh, Tomb Raider. That's a game that came out. How the fuck is that? Is it a Tomb Raider game? Is that what this discussion's gonna be?
It's a Tomb Raider game.
Holy shit! It's a Tomb Raider game.
We knew the story at the beginning. It basically did everything to the end that we were expecting. I will say though that I really did enjoy this Tomb Raider. Over the last 2 installments, the game has made a lot of progress. And honestly, I do need to preface by saying this, that the opinion I'm about to give is not shared by everyone. In fact, many feel that this is probably may actually be the worst of the reboots. But I'm actually on the other end, where I had a really good time with it. I thought it was enjoyable. It definitely had its issues, but then again, the thing is like, I don't really go into a Tomb Raider game expecting a lot because I kind of know what I'm gonna get before I do. Kind of like you do in other games and stuff. What I will say that was a pleasant surprise to me is this was one of the first Tomb Raider games that I felt could kind of, in a few specific instances, compete with Uncharted. Like there's like Uncharted to me has always been kind of like the larger. Uncharted's always been like the larger than life kind of movie game, and then Tomb Raider has been more of the kind of like slightly semi-open world, but slightly more immersed into the character game. And neither of them are making any grounds in story or anything for the most part. But there were some scenes in this one that were just like Michael Bay over the top, and like that happened more than a few times. Not to spoil it too much, but the premise, and I'm not even gonna. I need to be very light about this, but the premise is there are parts of the world that are basically like falling apart. and there are times when you are like moving through them. And it is a very kind of visceral and surreal kind of experience when you do that. And there were definitely times when I was just like, this is awesome. Like, I'm having fun doing this. And that was cool because, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting those in this game. So I will say, outside of that, I went in expecting it was going to be another Tomb Raider game. It was another Tomb Raider game. You know, this particular version of Laura was a little bit stiffer than I feel like some of the older ones were. And I am talking about Laura. And it's the kind of thing where it's again, it was a Tomb Raider game. I got Tomb Raider out of it. It was enjoyable. I did end up finishing it, and there were parts about it that I think were really great for the franchise. A couple steps back, but overall a fun time. Laura.
No, man, fuck those people. All right, it's
Laura.
Whichever you say first is how you pronounce it. It's Laura.
Yeah, I've always said Laura, even though it is patently incorrect. I grew up. I thought when I saw her in the very first Tomb Raider I ever saw her in, I was told her name was Laura. So I just for years never made the distinction.
That's Laura.
And then Twitch makes sure to let you know when you get things wrong.
Yeah, those are the ultra nerds out there. We know about it.
I mean, come on. It's I mean, in Japan she's Rora, so I mean, it doesn't even matter.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
This is a good joke, yes. Oh my God, cringe me, chat. I dare you. I call upon you.
Feed me your cringe.
Yeah, PewDiePie's he's gonna have a field day with this one, Zeke. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
But yeah, it was enjoyable. As long as you go in not really, they're not even attempting to rewrite the book on how to do these games. Like they're not even trying.
Yeah.
So
why are you laughing at?
Sorry, someone in chat said it's Yanny. Actually, I hear Yanny. It's weird.
Yeah, that was a big thing during our streams.
God damn.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? I thought that was. Oh man,
got too much. I would just start calling her Yanni and just
damn it.
Just going without even mentioning it. And then what's funny is, a couple people in chat would laugh, and there would always be a couple people like, "What is he like? Who? What? What does that even mean? I don't understand. Is this a new character?" It was.
How long did it take you to finish it?
I was really having fun with the side content, because one thing that's pretty cool about this one is the side content gives you really meaningful things. So you get breathe underwater longer, or abilities will get extra sub abilities to them, or you get new armor you can craft that gives you more harvesting resources. So I was doing a lot of side content at the beginning, but I ended up spending 21 hours in it as a whole. And I think you can beat it in 10 to 15 if you kind of just push it.
Not bad. Yeah, this is I think, as far as I know, the only game that has, I think it's in there. I don't know if it's coming later, but I think this is the only one that has RTX stuff in it. So I kind of just want to boot it up and see how it runs once I get the cards in tonight. Because the drivers finally came out for that. So we'll, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm basically waiting for your go ahead, JP. I'm just gonna
yeah, no,
it's fine.
I'll fuck
probably
with
look
it
at
tonight. Yeah, and we'll go with it from there. Yeah, it just looks like Tomb Raider. I don't know. I'm watching. If you would have told me this was the game that came out 3 years ago, or whatever, I'd be like, oh, okay, you're playing an old Tomb Raider game.
It is 80 to 90% the other two Tomb Raiders. Again, and I tried to make that super clear. And it, also, when I called this one my favorite of the three, kind of like we were talking about the God of War and Spider-Man story. I mean, it's the difference between an 82, 84, and 86.
Okay.
They're all right around the same thing. It's basically the same game in a lot of ways.
Gotcha.
But this one did have some kind of a little bit of fun nuance that put it a little bit ahead of the other two, in my opinion.
Cool. Apparently RTX is coming in a patch, so it's not out there yet. So is there any RTX? I guess it was this, Metro, and Battlefield. I guess none of those have RTX on out there yet. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
When is the card released publicly? Is it out now? It's not out now, is it?
No, I think they ship tomorrow, maybe, for pre-orders. Okay. I think.
Yeah, ours aren't even marked, right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Ours is straight NVIDIA.
Yeah. I also love that everything's green screened on the box. That's great.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, let me see what else Co's play that we haven't talked about. Warframe, Tomb Raider.
I don't think much. I finished Kiwami 2, but I think we talked about that already.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dying Light BR.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We can mix in some Call of Duty BR. We talked about this briefly last week because Bike Man was playing it. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts because it seems like you really like it. I think Bike was really liking it as well.
Dude, I'm digging it. Now the thing is I'm a Dying Light fan. So I really love the parkour system. I love being able to slide around and grab ledges, and I love the speed aspect of Dying Light. So I have the last few days now been finishing my streams with an hour or so of drinking Dying Light BR. 1 drink per death, 2 drinks per kill, and finish half of whatever you have for the win. And man, it has just been fun. Like this is one of those games that's just fun to play. Like I don't care about the meta, I don't care about anything outside of the rounds. Like it's just enjoyable. And what's really cool is there's lots of side items like Molotovs and landmines and hand grenades and throwing axes, and that keeps it really kind of interesting in terms of what you can do and what options you have available at the time. There's also some shields and stuff in there. They actually just came out with a nice big balance patch today, which made shotguns and Kukuris more balanced. Also changed the way some of the stuff works. The shield now takes a lot more time to bring out, so that's been balanced. They're really trying to make this game something that, you know, they're listening to the community. They're trying to make the game. It feels like a really well made culling. In fact, even the melee system is similar. You have straight melee attack. You've got charge up attack. You can jump down and attack people. But you also have a parry system, and then the kick system counters the parry. So it's kind of a paper, rock, scissors kind of thing. One of the reasons I loved the culling when it came out. There are some issues with it. It definitely feels a little bit early accessy. There's a few bugs. Every so often you get a bad server that's just laggy, and that just sucks. But I mean, I've had more good experiences than I have bad, and yeah, I've been having a really good time with it.
Okay. Yeah, Bike was last week complaining about the shotgun. We watched some footage of it just like demolishing entire groups of people. So glad to see that patch.
Shotgun was super overpowered. They made some really good changes where, first of all, it doesn't do as much damage, has a much higher fall off. And also, if someone has a shotgun out, if you melee them, they drop the shotgun, which then, of course, anyone else can pick up. This is pre-patch. You can see nothing happened. But if you like tap somebody or even throw a weapon at them, from what I understand, like you not only drop the shotgun, you throw it a random direction from you. So it's not like you can just pick it right back up.
Okay.
That's been pretty cool. They also lowered the ammo in it. Bows have have a close fall off now. So the closer you are to a bow user, the less damage it does, which is kind of interesting. So you can't really melee bow, which is what a lot of people were doing. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been cool. Very much recommend for Dying Light fans.
So do you have to? Is this free to play? Do you have to buy this? What do you have to own? It will be.
It will be. You can do a founder pack purchase now, which I think is, I don't remember how much it was, like $20-$30 or something.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it will eventually be free. It's $20 right now for a founders pack, and it will eventually be free with visual cosmetic cash store or little like boxes, loot box cosmetics.
Do you think this is a way to get the Dying Light brand back in circulation amongst people that play video games for Dying Light 2 coming out in the next year or so? Or do you think this is just
not only think it could be, but I think that this could be a multiplayer addition to Dying Light 2. And in fact, if they aren't thinking about that, I think they should start thinking about it. Because the idea of releasing Dying Light 2 with like an awesome single player adventure story and then having something like this be just a multiplayer thing you could play too, that would be kind of huge. That would really add a lot of value to that. Yeah. So yeah, it's like it plays surprisingly well. It feels good to play it. Especially if you're on a tight server, like everything is super tight with the melee. So you can really time parries down to like a quarter of a second. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Cool.
Am I gonna get this guy? Oh no, nope. Good. I'm glad you did that because I ended up holding that grenade too long.
Yeah, I saw you died right. It literally exploded right as it went.
Should have just kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
No, not. Oh yeah. For the record, for people talking in chat, not a lot of people play this game right now. It's not a big splash. It apparently had some really bad issues when it came out, which sucked. Like apparently the servers, like there was a huge influx of players when it first came out, and it just completely trashed the servers. So thousands of people thought the game was just stupid laggy all the time. And now not a huge amount of people play. I've never had an issue getting into a full game, but yeah, like the lag these days is really not that bad. But apparently it was really bad for a while, and that turned a lot of people away.
It seems to be about it. Quick, where are you at in Path of Exile? Have you made it to any bosses yet? What are you doing? Have you made it to
Path of Exile? I'm doing PoE directly after the stream actually, because I have like 3 elder bosses and the elder up on my map, and I don't want to touch it before I do anything. And I think at least a couple of those bosses will be the first time. I've been playing a little bit off stream, but not too much. It's kind of a mix of PUE and Warframe and Dying Light, actually. So, and I haven't had a lot of time to game off stream at all lately. So,
gotcha. Yeah,
a little bit of PUE.
I've moved pretty much like 95% off stream with PUE this season, but I'm still playing off stream, like a lot off stream. I've probably put 4 or 5 hours.
Which guy are you using now?
Still the same guy. I'm just pushing Delve a couple hours a night. I'm down to, I think I'm like 225 depth, which is for a lot of people that play the game is not that deep.
Ziggy was farming 300, so that's not bad.
Yeah. So
crazy enough, during the broadcast, I happened to catch out of the corner of my eyes somebody hit 1965.
Yeah, dude, people are like going crazy. I don't even know how you can live down there. Like, it's crazy. It's got to be nutty. The last thing, COD BR PC came out. Here's all I'll say about COD BR, and it's very simple. I played 8 hours of squads. They call it quads in game, but I played 8 hours, probably 30 or 40 total hours this, over all of the past week. But I played 8 hours on Saturday with DJ Wheat, Sir Scoots, and DJ Wheat's son, who I believe is 13 or 12, talking shit to me the entire time with me unable to talk shit back because he's 13 and because his dad was there the entire time, and I loved it. It was still great. So I hope that speaks highly enough of the game because it's good. Also, I guess this VOD just froze. I'm not sure what's going on.
JP, you were not a big PUBG player, right? A little bit, but not a huge one.
I played so much Arma BR that when PUBG came out, I was already over BR, especially with how fucking like shitty PUBG was at launch. Like there were so many issues with it that I just didn't play it. Yeah, I don't have that many hours in it. Probably, I said I didn't play it, but probably like 50, 60 max hours if I were to look at my Steam list. I haven't in a while, but yeah. Was not the biggest fan of it, Co.
The thing I'm wondering is, for the people that are completely BR'd out, that are tired of everything out there, and that are kind of, done with the kind of generic BR gameplay, is this game good enough to be looked at, or is it just a really nice version of more of the same?
Here's what I said last week. The thing that's going to suck about this game is it's a $60 BR. It's a full price BR because you have to buy the base game. You have to buy Call of Duty, and they're not going to sell it as a standalone thing. So you buy it for $60. You get access to the multiplayer, which is like your normal multiplayer, capture flag, TDM shit. You get access to the zombie game, and then you get access to this. So that's going to probably be a pretty big barrier of entry for a lot of people. But with that said, if you have ever played Call of Duty in the past at any point and liked it, and you want that gunplay in a BR mode, then it is, and have it be like rock solid in terms of gunplay. I'd say like 95% is what I would score it, or 90 in terms of stability. There were a couple of issues, but it was beta, right? Like if you compare day one of PC beta to day one of early access of PUBG, it's like looking at a giant pile of shit and like the most polished toilet you've ever seen. So it's really good. Like it
was a lag.
Non-existent. Like I'm trying to think if I ever like had, every once in a while you would load into a server that was like a little laggy, and then you would just drop out and join another game and it would be fixed. Like I very, very, very rarely ever had lag issues.
Could this game kill PUBG?
I mean, the joke was, how do you kill something that's already dead? But like,
well, here's a better way to say it. As somebody who's played both extensively, is there anything PUBG does better in your opinion?
No, but I haven't played PUBG recently. So apparently that game's gotten a lot of updates recently that makes it a lot better. Here's the other thing. I was playing with Little Lexi, who's a big BR streamer, loves PUBG, loves Rainbow Six, that type of stuff. And so I put a lot of weight to what she said. She still prefers, at least she did the first day. She went back to play COD a lot more the next 2 days, and I haven't talked to her since. But she still said that for the most part, PUBG was kind of her game. It was a game she was more interested in. She also put many hours into older COD titles. I don't know if her opinion's changed on that at all, but she still thinks that PUBG is the preferred game over her. I think she's fucking batshit crazy with that opinion, but that's her opinion, right?
There's a grappling hook?
There's a grappling hook, Cohen. It's fucking sick. It's great. It's really good. Like all the like equipment and stuff in the game is it's not game breaking. It just adds unique elements to the game, which is really fun. Like you can put up a barricade in front of you that has like this heat wave in front so people can't rush you, and it'll also like protect you from nades, but it's not broken, right? Like you just flank the guy and you kill him. There's a thing called a trophy. I think it's called a trophy system, and you just deploy it on the ground that catches any grenades that come your way and just like negates them. But you have to throw it down. It makes a lot of fucking noise when you do that. All of the different type of nades, like there's a sticky nade called a cluster nade that wherever you throw it, it just lands. And then when it explodes, more nades, it's a cluster grenade, so more nades go off. That's really strong. If you want to clear a room, you just throw it in there. Concussion grenades are kind of broken because you're basically like out of combat for several seconds if you get hit by that stuff. The shotgun, there's a very fine line between something being broken and just Shroud being really good. But for a while, I think there's a shotgun called the Mog, which I think might be a tiny bit broken because it can do a lot of damage at very, very far range. But for the most part, it's awesome. Like there's also zombies in the game. I see chat mentioning that. Like random, not random, but there's select areas in the map where like a beacon will spawn. And it's like kind of like a treasure chest where only zombie loot from the zombie core game so you can get like a ray gun, but there's also active zombies around you. Then up north, apparently, I never saw him, but there's a zombie boss that spawns that you can fight, and then you can get like his loot, which I think is really good loot in it. Yeah, I don't know. It's great. There's vehicles in it. There's a helicopter. It has no guns or anything on it, but you can get a helicopter fly around. There's trucks. There's four wheelies. All the different parts of the map are like pretty unique. They're also old Black Ops maps. So if you played old Blops multiplayers, you'll recognize a lot of the maps there. So yeah, I had a blast. It was super fucking fun. I was very sad when it went down on Monday because I didn't have a game to play all day.
How's the inventory and item management?
That's definitely something that they have addressed, and they said they're going. That was the other thing is in the 3 days that this game was out, they changed and put in a lot of stuff very quickly to make it better. But the inventory stuff on the PC is not the best. It is a major hindrance to walk up and loot someone because you're basically like taken out of the game and into like basically a UI thing pops up, but it's very hard to do that and loot quickly and like discern what's in front of you until you've done it a couple hundred times and done it really quick. It definitely needs some work on that regard, but I think they're going to try to figure out a way to make it work. You can definitely tell that what they had on console, they tried to kind of take that and put it on PC in a somewhat of a fashion, and they're still working on it for sure. So I'm expecting that to be drastically changed by launch in October, I guess is when this comes out. Like October 12th is when it ships.
That's soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's out in October, or maybe later in October. I don't know. Some month. Yeah. But it's good.
Well, just from a purely spectator point of view, because I don't care about BR anymore. I played a little bit of it and I was like, yeah, and then I just kind of fell out of love. But from a purely spectator point of view, this particular version of the BR genre looks way better to watch than a lot of the other stuff, like the cartooniness of Fortnite and the washed out like post-apocalyptic ish like bombed out cities of PUBG and shit like that. Like this looks way better to watch.
It is a beautiful game like that. Yeah. It is by far the best running and looking option, especially like compared to PUBG. I mean, PUBG looks like an indie game compared to this.
Yeah. The other thing too, for the beta weekend, they had the FPS capped at 90 on client side. I don't know if that was because of a server issue or what, but it basically stuck around like 87, 90 nonstop at 1440p with everything maxed out. Like it ran great. It ran flawlessly for me. So
someone actually brought up a good point that I think we kind of probably don't discuss a lot in here because, you know, we put a lot of money into our machines, but has it, and this is more a question for the chat. How does it run on like mid-tier PCs, like stuff like that? Like these games, we should ask, how do they run on like, you know, regular everyman PC?
Yeah,
Runs
I'm
great,
not sure.
bad, meh.
Seems generally positive in the chat for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think like Call of Duty for the most part has never really been a game that's like pushed graphics unless maybe like whatever, however many years ago it was when they had that Kevin Spacey single player, because that looked really good graphically. When he was like a main character. Yeah, he was a main character.
I was like,
in the single player.
Kevin Spacey single player.
Yep.
What is this?
Yep.
I don't think we should be playing this game.
He's not in this one. He was in the game 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I knew what you were getting at, but it just conjured up a very weird image, like Kevin Spacey BR. I'm like, I don't think I'll play that one. Even if it's free to play, I don't think I'll pick it up.
Yeah. The other thing that was kind of nice, and I don't know if this is a testament to the fact that it was open beta or the people that I was playing with are good or what. But if I load up PUBG these days, I'll get into a game and just get absolutely fucking destroyed no matter what happens. On Saturday, we went in the first couple of games, we went second, first, third, second, first. With just like me, Wheat, Mini Wheat, and Scoots. Like we're not all amazing. We're not the best gamers in the world, but we were doing pretty good. And I don't know if that was because people were getting used to the game or what, but it definitely felt good compared to other BR games where you just get fucking obliterated. I'm hoping that's the story when it actually comes out. But it could just be, you know, the player base was new to the game and that it was open beta and that awful people were picking it up and playing for the first time, etc. But it was definitely nice to win every once in a while instead of just getting into a game and fucking having Shroud number 4037 walk around a corner, pull a fucking 360 and just destroy you in a second. You're like, oh, well, that was cool. I walked around for an hour and then died in a second. That was great. But yeah, I'm definitely into it. I hope hope they continue to work on it, and I hope whenever it launches in October, I think October 12th, it's great because I definitely plan on playing a lot of it. So that is COD BR, and I think that's going to do it for our show.
One thing I do want to mention for the four of you that might be excited about this, I just got an email from about Magic the Gathering Arena beta. Open beta is starts 27th of this month.
I wonder if that's going to contend with Hearthstone.
I actually got a chance to play a little bit of the closed beta, and they fixed a lot of shit that like previous iterations of the online game didn't have. It's a little bit more streamlined, but it still has the complexities that Magic comes with. So
yeah,
I'm totally down. Like, you should definitely check it out. If you've been waiting for a Magic online game to be decent and playable, this is it.
How much do you buy packs just like you do in Hearthstone? Is that how it functions? Do you have any idea, Zeke?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm just curious, like, if you have to buy, like, I don't know, however many packs. Chat's saying yes, so. Packs and
quests. I mean, I'm sure that's part of the whole crack of, like, of Magic. Yeah. That's always been. It's like buying booster packs and opening it, going to the third card and going, nope, another one, please.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, apparently Day9 and Danny Trejo are in the video of the trailer together. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Let's do some shout outs. We'll get out here. We got to get the roleplay Far Verona crew in. Zeke, you want to start us off?
You betcha. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you to King Gathalion for being such a always a wonderful guest. I don't know how many times that makes for him. Like I want to say
4,
at least 2, if not 3.
It's 4 or 3.
Is it okay? But he's awesome. It was great to hear him talk about Destiny, even though I haven't picked it up. It's still like you guys out in the audience. I enjoy watching and listening as well. So thank you to him. Thank you to Ko and JP as always for being the best co-host a guy could ask for. I'm Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel _III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Getting closer to 10,000 people on 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So
Nice.
Gonna start making that money. That big YouTube money.
Ooh, those quarters. It's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. Why bills?
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Maybe you get featured on the new YouTube gaming.
Maybe. No, I can't, though. I'm under contract. I can't do that.
Wow. Okay. Oh, that's right. You're probably right.
That's right.
Yeah.
But exciting thing that's happening after this stream, I am going to be picking up and playing Transference. I got my PSVR all set up. It's great. It's the Elijah Wood full motion video VR game. I'm so fucking excited. When I saw this at E3, I said, this is the top 3 games I'm most anticipating this year. And I hope it's good. I checked everything out. Everything's ready to go. So give me 10 minutes after the stream, 15 minutes after the stream is done. And then we'll fire it up. So that's all I got.
Awesome stuff. Go Carnage. Do some shout outs, sir.
Sure. As always, big thanks to JP and Zeke. Another awesome show. And a huge thanks to Gathalion. It's always great to hear what's going on in Destiny. My name is Ko. You can find me every day on my channel at 8am currently playing Bard's Tale 4. We're going to be wrapping up Yakuza Kiwami 2 side content, including Majuma's story soon, Kholina, and some other fun stuff, some PoE and Warframe stuff coming as well. So yeah, should be fun. Also going to be checking out that Breathedge game that we saw today. Very excited for that. And last big thing, I think we just recently passed 1 million followers on the channel. So big thanks if you're one of those people. I really appreciate it. But anyway, on that note, as always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
Cool. Are there games out between now and then?
And I'm doing Path of Exile right after this if anyone's PoE.
Cool. Are there any games out?
You don't want.
I don't. Next week might be a slow show. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Pathfinder Kingmaker comes out next Thursday, 27th. So I think it'll actually be after. Yeah, next Thursday.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll
see.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a more theme show or something. I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyways, that's it. We'll see you guys. Thanks so much for watching Drop Frames. We're out of here. Bye-bye.